The words of the wicked lie in wait for blood, but the speech of the upright rescues them. Wicked men are overthrown and are no more, but the house of the righteous stands firm. A man is praised according to his wisdom, but men with warped minds are despised. Better to be nobody and yet have a servant than pretend to be somebody and have no food. A righteous man cares for the needs of his animal, but the kindest acts of the wicked are cruel. He who works his land will have abundant food, but he who chases fantasies lacks judgment. The wicked desires the plunder of evil men, but the root of the righteous flourishes. An evil man is trapped by his sinful talk, but a righteous man escapes trouble. From the fruit of his lips a man is filled with good things, as surely as the work of his hand rewards him. The way of a fool seems right to him, but a wise man listens to advice. A fool shows his annoyance at once, but a prudent man overlooks an insult. Woo! A truthful witness gives honest testimony, but a false witness tells lies. So, for verse 12, for verse chapter 12, 17, verse 17, deeper meaning. Some proverbs disarmingly obvious at first glance offer deep truth when chewed on. For instance, verse 17 seems to merely repeat the obvious, but its underlying meaning is that a person's character determines his or her actions. You can reflect at length at what this implies about why you do what you do. A truthful witness gives honest testimony, but a false witness tells lies. It just is what it is, and it's giving to me, the reader, a lot of opportunity to deal with their own moral compass, their own integrity, their own heart space, because as you read these chapters, especially even as I'm reading them out loud, I come to realize just the power in saying it out loud, just the certainty in my voice to speak certain things, and to process the information and the wisdom that I'm receiving, right? Luckily, I'm in a very open space within my heart, so I don't have a lot of resistance. However, there are some verses that I am wanting to highlight and talk about and dissect for my own self and see, because I did feel some tug. I did feel some like, what does that mean? I want to read that again, but like I'm in a flow. So I'm gonna just take this moment and finish reading, and then I will come back and discuss more with y'all, because like I said, I was already reading and something told me to record, but now I need to kind of like be with myself. So it's just like, you kind of have to know what to do, when to do it, because like you'll think you are just resisting what you desire, but then you should be shown why no, you're in alignment. Okay, so I want to start back reading. I had continued reading, but I'm going to start back reading. So I'm going to read all the way, honestly, I'm going to read into chapter 17, because that's what I'm feeling. Okay. And I'm going to try to like take some little notes for when something is standing out to me, so that I can speak on it. But let's go ahead and get back on it. Where was I reading? Yes, a truthful witness does not deceive, but a false witness pours out lies. The mocker seeks wisdom and finds none, but knowledge comes easily to the discerning. Stay away from a foolish man, for you will not find knowledge on his lips. The wisdom of the prudent is to give thought to their ways, but the folly of fools is deception. Fools mock at making amends for sin, but goodwill is found among the upright. Each heart knows its own bitterness, and no one else can share its joy. The house of the wicked will be destroyed, but the tent of the upright will flourish. There is a way that seems right to a man, but in the end it leads to death. Wow. Proverbs 14:12. Be careful. Proverbs offers common sense but doesn't encourage simply trusting your own sense. Choices that seem perfectly right may end up destroying you. That is precisely why people need to cultivate wisdom. What looks good often isn't. Even in laughter the heart may ache, but in joy may end in grief. The faithless will be fully repaid for their ways, and the good man rewarded for his. A simple man believes anything, but a prudent man gives thought to his steps. A wise man fears the Lord and shuns evil, but a fool is hot-headed and reckless. A quick-tempered man does foolish things, and a crafty man is hated. The simple inherit folly, but the prudent are crowned with knowledge. Evil men will bow down in the presence of his good, and wicked at the gates of the righteous. The poor are shunned even by their neighbors, but the rich have many friends. That's crazy. He who despises his neighbor sins, but blessed is he who is kind to the needy. Do not those who plot evil go astray, but those who plan what is good find love and faithfulness. All hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty. The wealth of the wise is their crown, but the folly of fools yields folly. A truthful witness saves lives, but a false witness is deceitful. He who fears the Lord has a secure fortress, and for his children it will be a refuge. The fear of the Lord is a fountain of life, turning a man from the snares of death. A large population is a king's glory, but without subjects a prince is ruined. A patient man has great understanding, but a quick-tempered man displays folly. A heart at peace gives life to the body, but envy rots the bones. He who oppresses the poor shows contempt for their maker, but whoever is kind to the needy honors God. When calamity comes, the wicked are brought down, but even in death the righteous have a refuge. Wisdom reposes in the heart of the discerning, and even among fools she let herself be known. Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a disgrace to any people. A king delights in a wise servant, but a shameful servant incurs his wrath. A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. The tongue of the wise commands knowledge, but the mouth of the fool gushes folly. The eyes of the Lord are everywhere, keeping watch of the wicked and the good. The tongue that brings healing is a tree of life, but a deceitful tongue crushes the spirit. A fool spurns his father's discipline, but whoever heeds correction shows prudence. The house of the righteous contains great treasure, but the income of the wicked brings them trouble. The lips of the wise spread knowledge, not so the hearts of fools. The Lord detests the sacrifice of the wicked, but the prayers of the upright pleases him. The Lord detests the ways of the wicked, but he loves those who pursue righteousness. Stern discipline awaits him who leaves the path. He who hates correction will die. Death and destruction lie open before the Lord. How much more the hearts of men? A mocker resents correction. He will not consult the wise. A happy heart makes the face cheerful, but heartache crushes the spirit. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there for now, because for some reason, I don't know if it's because I'm recording or I'm just not feeling well today. I haven't took all my supplements, done much of like a stretch routine or anything. However, I started at chapter 9, and there were a few. First off, I want to bring point to the fact that from chapter 9 till chapter 15, I read that I've read a truthful witness gives honest testimony, but a false witness tells lies. Verse 17, chapter 12. Verse 14, chapter 14, verse 5. That was verse 17, chapter 12. Sorry. A truthful witness does not deceive, but a false witness pours out lies. And then I believe okay, I thought I might have seen it 3 times. So there. I thought I seen it 3 times, but either way, I found it interesting that wisdom and folly are women. Rather, that's because of just it worked better for a metaphor, or when you think about the it only makes it makes a lot of sense in the scheme of how I've engaged with different type of women. I look all slouchy, and so I don't know, I just find that interesting because chapter 9 is starts off as telling you wisdom is about her business. She's doing these things. This is her result. This is her intention, and this is what she's rewarded from doing these things. And then it kind of switches into some parallelism, but then But I like that it spends majority of the chapter talking about wisdom and just short and sweet. It lets you know folly will come in the same clothing, it will come with the same perfumes, but it will not cut that cloth the same. It will not rock that, that thing the same. And so you have to be mindful for the slight differences in what you are going after in your life. But there was a verse, I'm trying to find it. Okay. Chapter 9, verse 7. Whoever corrects a mocker invites insult. Whoever rebukes a wicked man incurs abuse. Do not rebuke a mocker or he will hate you. Rebuke a wise man and he will love you. So, I think I struggle with the actual definition of rebuke. To me, that seems heavy. That seems like to banish, to disown, to disassociate, to disengage with, to shun, to remove out of one's fields. So when I read that, it's like, whoever corrects a mocker invites insult. Whoever rebukes a wicked man incurs abuse. I question that because so for me in the past few years, I've been struggling with my voice and my messaging, and I've experienced a lot of just trauma, childhood trauma, emotional trauma, relational trauma, psychological trauma, environmental trauma, just a product of struggle, poverty, low vibrations, and learning to survive and thriving in that. So when I say that it's, some people are okay with their survivalism, their lifestyles, because they're thriving in that. They that works for them. That level of pressure, that level of uncertainty, that level of chaos, that is how they manage their lives. I even think that some people, I could even go to say that some people wouldn't even know how to operate in a more stable, orderly way. They would find order restricting or too controlling to a certain degree if they have managed and convinced themselves and normalized a very unnatural process. So that's the difference in survivalism and thriving, is that I genuinely feel surviving is a byproduct of I lost my train of thought. Surviving is a byproduct of normalcy or normalized helplessness. So just those experiences where you couldn't make ends meet, where you worked the 2 jobs but it still wasn't enough, and not only is it not enough financially, but mentally, emotionally, you don't have any desire, any energy to pour into your kids. So what you give them is that shame, that guilt, that lack. And so survival, the way that I wanted to say this, survival is normalized, thriving is natural to the biological process. So survivalism is to me the body's response to unnatural stimuli. Thriving is a natural byproduct of being in the right environment for you. So I do see, like, even for some of the scriptures that I'm going to point out, like, even as I think about this, there are a lot of systemic and biochemical warfare and biological war. There's just so much systemic, oppressive, big corp type of violence happening against humanity. This is no longer about black people, white people, Asian people, all of the race wars that's going on across the country. Like, I'm not saying that those conversations aren't important. I'm not saying that healing isn't important and needed, but I'm saying that the war, the reason it is even materialized at that level is because it is beyond that point in the spirit realm, and it is in our best interest to garner the energy to catapult ourselves in the correct trajectory in managing this ship, or willingly going down whichever portal wormhole you need to go in order for Mother Earth, universe to clean up their shit. So I struggle with this because I've endured a lot of, like, spiritual warfare, a lot of, like, showing up in places, trying to be accepted in places by people that I genuinely love and genuinely wanted to be in relationship with, and, like, working through those relationships, navigating those relationships, showing up in vulnerable spaces. Like, even if I wasn't as intimate or as vulnerable as I could be, like, having even someone feeling safe to say, Kawanda, you're not showing up for me, you're not showing up for us, you're not being that version of you that is needed to even facilitate that aspect of the relationship. So when I realized that I couldn't, that people are willing to coddle my disillusionment, like, there's a point in your journey where, like, it's cool to have friends and family and anybody who loves you around and doing your thing, and you're navigating. You might bounce something off their head. Y'all might discuss this. Y'all might have a profound, moving conversation, heart pulling conversation, soul inspiring conversation, mind boggling. It's just whatever it takes you, right? And so, what time is it? Because I am on a schedule. Okay, so with all that being said, I kind of got myself into, like, going into, like, profound trust and love and care for myself, to, like, not even, like, God, I have the love, I have the desire, I have the knowledge, the wisdom, but I can't connect it to the implementation. I'm exhausted, I'm drained, I'm tired. I'm realizing that a lot of the sexual assault, not just from childhood, but the stuff that I've incurred as an adulthood to not be a victim to anything, is causing my body physical pain. I want to be my happy self. I want to be my joyous self. I want to be my full of life, full of spirit, full of love self that you transformed me to be. However, there are experiences that I've gotten myself into from my past, and even now, that hurt my physical body, that hurt my spiritual body, that hurts me in unseen ways. And I'm just now getting to a place of acknowledgement, acceptance, and holding me in that space. And it's scary. It's uncomfortable. It's weird. It's like the best thing in the world at the same time. So it's like, when you come to a place, or you get to a place in your life where you are okay with how you manage and how you live, and you reflect back on maybe your family dynamics, friend dynamics, and you realize people were coddling um, things that made them comfortable, things that reinforced their own desires. They didn't give. It wasn't. Sometimes it wasn't even out of lack of consideration for you. It just was there. Like when, even like for the. I'm not saying that they were in the season of life that I'm in right now, but if I'm having like this devil advocate type of mentality, or I'm just like I've heard a therapist say that people do not have to fulfill your fantastical ideology. So like if you have this idea how you want a relationship with somebody, and